Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Timberborn, part 28 in the Greedy Builders Tackling the Helix series. And oh my goodness, what a journey it has been to get here. I mean, Update 7 came out, and that's awesome. Always glad to see new updates to the game. Of course, that meant the mods that I use have to be updated. As it was, if I would attempt to load the game and all, it would just crash. Mods started getting updated within hours of the first update to update 7, the first patch, the first drop of update 7. That's what I'm trying to say. And they've just been updated ever since. However, actually two mods were not updated. One of them was the metal staircases, and then the dependency that it had. Those might both be by the same person, I'm not sure, but I know that that dependency is like natty materials or nat materials or something like that. The mod creator dropped a comment, gosh, like 5-6 days ago now, by the time you're watching this, coming up closer on 10 or 11 days, that they said they don't know when or if they'll have the time or desire, I think it said, to update that mod. And so anything that's dependent upon that isn't going to work. However, I had those metal staircases everywhere, so when I loaded into the save, it looked like this. Yeah, not good at all. Pretty much everything was disconnected. Beavers and bots everywhere stuck because there were no connections, because I had used those metal stairs extensively. So I went into developer mode, mainly because one, I had no logs, and two, I just did not want to spend the time of having all the stairs get rebuilt manually and leave hundreds of buildings disconnected during that time while they built up all the different stairs. So I just used developer mode and just spawned them in as completed, or built them as completed buildings. But you could do that. You just Shift Alt Z, and then when you place a building, hold down Control when you place it, and it builds it with 0 cost. So you don't have to have any supplies, no time to build, anything like that. To be fair, to be honest with you, I don't know that I've really captured everything, found everything that had stairs, but at least both districts are working. We are starting to come back up in logs again, but that keeps happening. We'll get like 10, 12, sometimes even like 16,000 logs, and then within a day they're all gone again. So not 100% certain what's going on there, other than the fact we're using a lot of logs. Timberborn is a game that could definitely benefit from like a usage screen. Like, we've got all this great info here of what we have, but it would be great if I could see how much I was making versus how much was being consumed, so that I could really get an idea of what I needed for everything. Gosh, we are out of catalyst again. Wow. Okay. The bot numbers are going to dwindle. I do have some of the bot manufacturers paused right now. We were also running low on bot parts for a while. I'll just keep an eye on that, and if it gets to where it needs to be, then that's awesome. If not, so be it. So we have a couple projects. For this, I'm going to pause because one is back over here with update 7 out. I'm still going to do my main plan over here, which is another district that is going to have little streams coming down that will hopefully either drop into a waterfall into here, or maybe about halfway back to have a little channel that runs out. But I kind of want to experiment a little bit with using some of the new stuff we have, and I built out this big, huge area thinking that we would blast all of this for the district down here. But then it dawned on me that wouldn't it make more sense to just have it all underneath this, which of course that means I have to demolish all that. So I want to begin by getting rid of the 2 suspension bridges and then seeing how long they actually need to be. Because we're going to start blasting kind of over here. I'm not going to leave these here. I just want to have that in for reference. Because essentially what I want to have happen is I want my trading post, the district crossing, to be like here. So it would go there. And that would be the district crossing leading into there. We probably really need more than one, but well, I don't have anywhere to put more than one. I could get more than one in and then just have them all funnel over to one path, but then I wouldn't be able to get that there. We might do that. We'll see what happens. So I want that there, and then I want like a path, and then I want to immediately, and this is where we're going to start, we will eventually start blasting. I want to have a tubeway station, like right like that. And then the tubes, I've been told, can run down the bottom of this. So if I blast this whole area down here, then I could do that. I could make that happen. So if I get rid of all of this, oh, this breaks my heart to do this, but okay, so I now know where that is gonna wind up. So that's why I said this isn't all going to stay here. It's definitely going to change. So we're just gonna blast out the majority of what we did last time. So sad. And then since they should be able to get over here, I'm going to have them start leveling that from up there. I won't be able to reach that though. That's okay. At least they can work on some of it. So we have to get them back over here to start with. So we can get rid of that. And then what we need to do is see how big the bridge actually needs to be. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'll need to build this up to receive that. So that would mean like 4. Oh, okay, I miscounted. I apparently can't math. You know what? Counting can be hard for somebody with an Arkansas public education. Can I see that now? That's... Oh, I would need one more beyond that, too, though, for... I don't know, the bridge will connect properly. Come on, click all the wrong buttons, Brandon. That's always quality entertainment. So, instead of doing this way... Same on this. I'd kind of like this to just all look a little more elegant than that. So what I'm going to do is come in here with a 3. And then bring that up. And then again. And then like that. And then in the middle... do a 4? No, we're going to do a 5 right here. And then just 2s. So yeah, this doesn't need to be a 5. This just needs to be a 4. Okay. Because I want 2 extra bits sticking out. There. And then that leaves me a little gap right there in the middle. But then I don't know if the bridge will connect to that, will it? I'm not certain. So the crossing would go there. We would have a path here, and then the bridge. Oh, yeah, that'll work. I'm okay with that. So we get rid of that. And is it really how that needed to be? Probably not. I probably actually could have just done 2, 3. Yeah, I could have. Okay. Bear with me, guys. It's a journey. Something, life is a journey, not the destination. I don't know. I'm not a philosopher. So I could do this right here. Okay, so then I would want to come out my 3 there. 2 there and my 4 not there, but there. And then get rid of that. And then put the bridge back again. Like that. And then for now, we're just going to run a path there. And then so they can reach all the way through here, we're just going to bring a path right down through there. And that district can get started on that project. And that will be fantastic. So the bots should work on it. How much dynamite do we have? Plenty. Good. So the second project I'm going to work on is more trees, but I don't have more land. I mean, yeah, I could come over here and use all that, but that's getting really far away from our districts. I think instead, what I'd like to do is take advantage of what we have now by way of 3D terrain and being able to stack it up. And I'm going to pause once again because I want to figure out where we're going to bring everything up and how exactly I want to do this. So there are a couple of issues at play here. One is we've got that in the way, but that's not that big of a deal. Same with the Forestry, but I think if we just go above it, we'll be fine. Same back there, Science Tower, a little bit in the way, but I think we can work around that. My biggest problem is that these are 7 wide and our longest platform is a 6. So that can't go there because it's not up the tree. So like if I did that there and that there and then like that, is this tall enough to get over the trees? No, it needs to come up one more. So we'd have to do that again. And now, can we get over the trees? Yeah. My problem is I wind up with this gap right here. And so, yeah, I could just put this over here and then run it over to where it connects to there, but then how do I go to this side? And then same like here, you know, where do I go? Do we lose a few rows of trees to facilitate this? Or what is going to be the best play here? And I'm not certain that I have the answer to that. You know, I could always just like take out a couple like here in, because that'll give me to there, and then that'll give me to right there. So that leaves how many trees? 2 trees in the middle? I think so. Yeah. Yeah, so I could get rid of these 6 total and maybe put some platforms there to build up and then extend out to either side. That's an idea. Let's see if it works. We can always replant them. So we're going to prioritize that actually because I want to see if this works. So let's get rid of these trees real quick. All right, cool. That's got the trees out of there. So then if I do something like this and then do that. Oh, that's overhanging by 1. I didn't realize that. Okay, so this only needed to be 2s. The angle I was looking at kind of threw me. All right. So yeah, that's why we're paused, so that we can, you know, learn here and things don't get built and we wind up tearing a bunch of stuff down. So then I should, that gets all but that last little section back there. I mean, back here, not a big deal to cover that. Even up here, probably not that big of a deal to cover that. But I do have to get them up here as well. But that's not as big of an issue. So, like, back here, I can take care of that. Like, here-ish. Yeah? That works. Not the most beautiful thing, but it does get the job done. So then we can do the same thing right here on that end, and that gets one whole area covered, plus a little extra where maybe we can have a walkway or something. So then we would want to think about how they're going to get up here. And for that, I think it's just as simple as just going back to our regular guys here. So we'll go like right there, and then that same one, and then we'll go 2, single one, and then there, and there, and then they can come up right there on stairs that are not a mod, so they will not be deleted one day. So cool, and then that could get us over to the path. We're just going to follow our paths as they've been, though that may alter somewhat. We're going to have to take a look and see how this goes. Actually, this needs to come up one more because there needs to be dirt blocks up here. Actually, it needs to come up two more because there needs to be a place for a water channel as well. Yeah. So one for the water channel, but that could just be the impermeable blocks. Then yeah, let's see what this is going to look like here. Hold on. Let's get rid of this path. So where do we want the water channel to go? That's the big question here. Like if I just keep it where the paths have been, is that going to be sufficient to irrigate all this? And then how do I like connect it all? Many questions here. So we can go out to there. Not to that end though. That's going to be something else. So then we basically need to recreate this again on this other side, so that we can figure out all of that. And then we also need to figure out where we're going to get the water in. That's a thing. So this one will need to be a block there. Let's get rid of that. This will need to be a dirt block. So yeah, this all needs to come up at least one higher. So then if we just kind of like, so I'm thinking we're just going to use a fluid dumping into the channel in one spot and then having it just kind of flow throughout. But I have no idea if it's going to be sufficient or not. Or if we're going to have to come up like another level and actually leave like a place for like a pond. That's a little bit wider. That may be what we have to wind up doing. In fact, I think we're gonna experiment here a little bit. Yeah, we are gonna experiment here a little bit. I'm gonna do a 3 wide strip here, but then like just a 1 back here. Yeah, that'll give me a chance to see what's what. So let me recreate this again, but on this end. Okay, so I've come up with something rather strange. I wasn't able to build it out exactly the way I wanted to because I don't want to get too far into this and then have it not work. So this is not quite where I want the water to be. I'd want it to be over 1, but whatever, I'm not going to squabble. Same here. I would really want the water to be flowing there and there, but obviously if I don't put the dirt in, it would just flow off to the floor down below. And then I've got the overhangs in where we'll eventually actually just have our walkways. So I want to get this all built out. Let's also check on progress here. Well, they've built a bridge. Is that all they can build? They can't build the rest of this, can they? No, because that they can't reach that because that has nothing to attach to. What if I'd really have to have this district have a way up and around, wouldn't I, to get up to that? Yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna temporarily get rid of the suspension bridge, and instead we'll just have some temporary platforms here just for the time being, and then we'll get it all connected another way another time. But I want to get that underway, so I want to get this built real fast. Let's do a really short montage of all of this under construction. So even though it's nighttime, our fluid dump is working because it's all timberbots over here. And as the water flows, it's taking him a minute because he's having to run back and forth to get the water, which is like there. But it looks like this design will get it done. I mean, we've got water to there, and we're irrigated to both sides, and we're gonna have another bunch of water. I'll eventually blast that out to bring this over again, and then that way, and then we'll probably cover here. Of course, do we even need all these logs now? I don't know. This dude can't reach up there. We knew that was gonna be a thing. I had to put some stairs in because we had some bots get stuck, because of course we did. That's just kind of the way it goes. So we're gonna have them pick up that little bit of mess. Hopefully this water dump guy will get in some more stuff, and then we can just fill in the rest of this like so. Oh, that's a different length. Yeah, that's gonna get, no, that's not gonna get blasted out. That's gonna stay there. Okay, that's fine. That's whatever. These are gonna be hidden. Well, not hidden, but there's gonna be paths on top of them, so I'm not gonna get too particular about it. So cool, that could go there, and then if we have like a forester up here, yeah, that we would reach a huge amount of this. Like one forester up there should be able to take care of the whole thing. So we have like a forester, and then we can do some lumberjack flags like that, and then even though we don't have any punch cards or catalysts or biofuel or anything like that, we're still going to put in a place for all of them because we are going to eventually address that. So we'll do biofuel, and then we'll do catalyst, and then we'll do grease, and then this will be for our punch cards. So yeah, I really think this is going to work. What might help this dude out is if we come in here and drop in just like a water tank there, set that to obtain, and then hopefully the haulers in this district will just work on bringing that back and forth. So if we set that to supply, that should get us. Yeah, like even as the water trickles in, it is filling this up. I think one fluid dump will be sufficient. They stop pumping water in once it reaches the top of the opening that you have that they're dropping water into, and then they just keep topping it off as needed. So I think like one water dump for the whole area will be fine. I don't see why it wouldn't be. What I want to do is prioritize the tank. So I want to see if that doesn't get this filled up a little bit quicker. So let's get that tank built really fast. And of course, as they finish the tank, the water spread enough to irrigate everything. A little bit missing here on the edge, but not on that edge. But it's also not the same width. So that's why. So this side would look just like that, because you can see we've got this little dry spot here and that little dry spot, and then this little dry spot and that little dry spot. But I don't think that's going to be enough to cause any problems for us. I think it'll be fine. So then if we just mark our tree cutting area here, you know, being careful not to mark where there's not building, or there are buildings, because that drives me insane, because I'm a weirdo. But mark all this for cutting. Am I alone in that? Like, I watch other people, they just, granted I don't watch a lot of Timberborn content, but the ones I have seen, they just mark a big area and they're done with it. I don't know, maybe I am the weird one here. There you go. Boom, tons of trees. So down below, we actually lost a few, which reminds me I need to replant those two back there. Right, like that. There we go, we got them. We lost a total of 8 trees at the bottom, 32. Come back, come back, come back. But we gained, there you go, you can pause that and count all those if you'd like. So 8 trees, 32 logs. lost down there, but gaining all of these up here. And we won't have to worry about droughts or anything as long as we don't run out of water in the water tank. It should just be fine. Yeah, the haulers aren't doing anything with that. But I'm pretty pleased with that. What I want to do is get out of the highest speed because that just lags like crazy. Yeah, that worked. I had a lot of bots running out of energy. So I built them a zip line so that they could get over here a little quicker, though. Oh, that's cute. I think that might be a bit of a bug. Devs, I don't think that the bots are supposed to walk on the zip line when they're out of energy. That's adorable. Everybody's ziplining past him. Wait, they're all walking on it. Bots? Oh my god. No way. That's so wrong. Just... Okay. So... That one's clearly walking on it as well. But then... These dudes are... not... connected. It's early in the update. We've seen it work with beavers, and they have the proper little harness. Bots seem to be just suspended. It's really hard to. But if they're carrying something, it's like it goes through their head. They gobble it up and. It just comes out of the back of the head. That looks so wrong. I was looking to see if maybe there's like an opening back here that made that make sense, but there's not. Oh man, that is funny. What I'm going to do is let them work on this a little bit longer. I'm just going to jump cut to when it's ready to blast. This is going to take forever to blast all this out. I don't know how much of the space we're even really going to need. But I'd rather blast out more than we need and come back to it. So, for me, this is probably going to take a couple hours. For you, it'll be in just a moment. And, oh my goodness, that took forever. I realized early on I needed to build supplies over here, or else it was going to take even longer. It didn't take long before I realized that. However, I did discover a cool thing. These ladders... when they build them, they make the same sound as when you destroy something. I'll throw a clip up here of that happening, and yeah, that's just very, very, very odd. Oh, my cursor's doing a thing there. That's weird. Did the little windows? I'm thinking about it. Anyway, so yeah, the ladder's doing a weird thing, but I was able to get this jaggedy bit. It kind of looked like that, all sorted out. I just kept building a path out and ladders down, and it just went level by level by level till it was all down to this level. Have a path marked out. This is how far out I'm going to come. This is not our final layer, by the way. We're going to go as deep as it will let us. However, I'm kind of out of logs again. And dynamite's getting a little low. It was holding steady for a while until oh my gosh, that's just going so slow. Oh my goodness. Until I remembered to put all this over here, and then the dynamite ran out pretty quick. So yeah, we definitely want to recover these logs, please and thank you. So yeah, we've got a big flat area here, and then once the dynamite has kind of recovered, we will just keep blasting down in this big rectangle. I know that this is a lot bigger than what I'm going to need, but I'd rather have a bit too much than not enough. So I'm kind of curious as to what happened. Like, we were fine with logs for the longest time, and then it just suddenly disappeared, and because of that, now we're struggling on paper again. Yeah, I don't really get it. for the longest time, I had 6,000-7,000 logs holding steady, and then just boom. I think what's happening is we just went through 2 very long bad tides and 2 shorter bad tides. Like the very long ones were 7 and 8 days, and then I had 2 that were 3 days. Maybe one was 4. And what's happening is way over here. You can see it because the water hasn't yet gotten here. So these trees are dying, and when they're dying, they're not growing. Granted, that's a bad example because that's maple tree, then we don't cut those down. But yeah, you can see that like these little dudes here, they're not growing. The growth stops on them, and I think that's what's happened. Is those 2 really long bad tides, the water just got so low, like even our crops are dead. Until the water gets back here, it's going to be like this. So I need to kind of maybe think up a better solution than what we have going on over here. Even if that means maybe blasting some of this down. Though I can't really, because then it'll, I mean, as it is, it floods when the water comes back. So, yeah, I don't know. We also had a bit of flooding over here. I had to alter my plans a little bit. If you were paying attention, you know that I had originally put dynamite all along this second layer. Well, when a bad tide ends and the water comes surging through, where these power shafts are, it's kind of hard to see because there's a charging station sitting on top of it. But these go down 3 tiles, 3 blocks, and the water, for just a brief second, spilled over and into this area. But there's going to be a district over here, so I don't want that to happen because it'll get down deep in here and then it'll have to evaporate out because it'll have nowhere to go. And I don't want that. So I just built up the second row and it'll be fine. We'll make it work. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. I think what I'll do is finish this blasting project between videos. What I also did while I was waiting was finish out, or not finish it. I wouldn't say we're done, but expanded the forestry. You know, we had just this little bit. Now we have 8 plus a little bit over there. They've just finished it. It took quite a while. However, look at that. That one dude can really reach almost all that. So I did add a second one in just so they have a little help in planting. And then the final thing I did, and this is also impacting our logs right now until all of this oak gets grown in. I waited until they had chopped down the mature oak and they were all just baby oaks, and then got rid of them and brought in the second row of maples here. These were already maples, but we added in more because one of the reasons we were out of catalyst, lag autosave, yep, was because we were always out of maple syrup. It's bouncing back now, so catalyst is starting to bounce back as well. Very slowly, it's going to take a while, but we should get there. I do have to keep pausing and unpausing the bot manufacturers. We'll get like down to just 10 or so available, and then I'll turn 1 back on, and that won't be enough. Then I'll turn 2 and then 3 and then finally all 4, and then we wind up with like 100 extra bots. So kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm kind of digging this approach to forestry. I like how it kind of hides a little bit of the industry. I also like that there's a little peephole for this dude, and he's basically staring at the edges of some blocks. Yeah. Oh, and I will admit that when I first had this, or I thought it was finished, I had forgotten some waterproof barriers. Like I think it was this row, and yeah, it flooded everything beneath it, and then these dudes just stopped. Because it's good to know that they won't just sit there and let something below flood. They definitely want to be pumping into a contained area. So good to know that safeguard is in place. But they've almost got all these oaks planted, And then once they get them in and they mature, I think we'll be doing better. I probably will extend this on back. Maybe even all the way out over the bad water. We can't really though, because the water pumps. We'll be right up to it then. And I might do something similar over here. It'd be more of a challenge, but we can always do the same thing that I did with the science tower that was here. Just get rid of it and then replace them as needed. But I'm really happy with how this has turned out. The vertical farming is a game changer, quite literally. I mean, I find this to be easier than trying to blast down or work around with stairs and things like that. I can just keep going up, keep it all in a fairly compact area, and just go up and up and up as I need to. And so I dig it. But we're going to leave it here for now. And until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.